Right. Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone.
Um,
Seorang yang dalam kelas ni yang jawab. Salam. Okay, some of you asking me in the group that can you share device kan? For me, I will rather advise you to use your own devices. In case you forgot or missed to sign in attendance. And also, I would like to see your attendance from what time you join the class and what time you sign out for the class. So Webex can give me that report lah. That's why I prefer you use your own device. But if you have a problem on your devices, should be fine. But make sure you sign in attendance lah. Kan? So nanti jangan kata terlupa lah apa kan. So susah. So normally I check in Webex lah what time you join in the class and what time you sign out for the class. That's why I would rather suggest you to use your own device. Right. Is my voice clear with everyone here?
yes, doctor.
Alright, thank you. That's the energy that I want to hear. So keep response me kan. Kalau ada soalan, just you can ask me any questions. Okay, you can turn on your mic or you can use the chat box. Okay. Kalau malu-malu nak turn on your mic, you can use a chat box as well. So normally I use both lah for the interactions. Alright. Are you ready for our first chapter of software engineering? Ready?
Ready, doctor?
Ready, doctor.
Okay, good. Okay, this week actually just the introductions of your course, CSC577, which is software engineering, theories and principles. So looking at the title, actually it's just basic to introduce you what is software engineering on the theory and principle, right? So of course you are not software engineering, majoring in software engineering lah. Normally you are from multimedia computing or other program. Okay, so that's why this is the introductions of what is software engineering. Right. So let me share my slide first. So actually we have 2 slides to cover today. Okay. So remember that next week, okay, we will start topic presentations, right? Sharing with your friends first, which is from group C1. C1 will do topic 2, which is software process. Okay, so group C1, please submit your MP4 video 1 day before class for me to check first, or you may submit early than that. Okay, and then when the class start, okay, we will start with the video sharing first. Okay, so it's maximum 15 minutes only. Okay, and then you will have a quiz. Okay, to make sure that everyone focus and concentrate with what your friends is presenting. Okay, so you will have a quiz, a simple quiz, which is only 2 questions. Okay, so each topic you will have quiz. Okay, quiz. So we start with topic 1. Okay, topic 1 today. So remember, after I finish my lecture for topic 1, you will have a short quiz, which is only 2 questions, just a basic one to make sure that you understand at least the basic. So looking at your SOW, you can see that actually this topic 1, is not for your test 1. Remember, your assessment have individual 50%, group 50%, right? So individual, you have test 1 and test 2, 25% each. Okay, so for test 1, you will start with chapter 2, software process. That's why the topic sharing start with topic 2 onwards. All right. So again, I repeat, next week our lecture will start with topic presentations, and then we will do a short quiz. Okay, and then I will do a summary for the topics. Okay. So if we finish early, then early lah. Okay. So I will close the sessions early. Okay. If you have any questions, so I will ask you for any Q&A session first. Okay. And you also can keep asking me in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Remember, always use your group WhatsApp. Okay, that's the purpose of having WhatsApp group, so that you can reach me 24/7, right? Don't PM me, because that's it's hard for me to track who are asking questions, and also your friends might can answer your questions, or might also have the same question. So that's will be help. Okay, so please use your group WhatsApp. Your group only have 4%, right? So one person asking a question, so I will know that who is the one and from what group. Okay. So what else, huh? I think that's all for now. All right. Okay. Oh, one more thing. I believe that you need to fill up your entry. What we call it? Entry apa panggil?
Entry survey.
Entry survey. Okay, entry survey. So make sure you only fill up either 1 or 2 or 0. I don't know, 0 ada tak? Or 1, 2, 3, 4 macam tu. 1 to
5.
1 to 5. So for entry, please only choose either 1 or 2. If you think you know that topics, you can choose 2. If you think that you no idea, or it's must be your first time saying that topic, put it as 1. Because you know that entry, and then you have the exit one, right? So the exit one should be better than the entry one. So either 1 or 2 only, please. Alright. So if you put mula-mula dah put 4 dengan 5 kan, so tak payah masuk kelas lah, dah pandai masuk dia. Betul tak? Okay, so make sure choose only 1 or 2. Alright? Boleh? Boleh faham? Right. Okay. So for today, I have 2 slides. Okay, so if you check in the SOW, topic 1 covering the introductions. Actually, the overall is introduction to software engineering. Okay, but the other one is the added value lah. Okay, so lebih kurang je sebenarnya, just intro. Okay, alright. Let me make the slide bigger. Alright, okay. So is it okay now?
Okay.
Alright, okay. Okay, so first topic. Okay, if you can see it, the lecture 0 to 1, right? Because it start from the introduction of CSC577. But if you're looking at the content of the syllabus, this is a first chapter, and the software process is a second chapter, right? Okay. Don't tell me why that we have to PowerPoint, right? To slide, and why we have all notes like that one, right? Because that's UITM. Because UITM is preparing from the resource person. Okay, we have a lot of UITM in different places, right? So to make it standardized, resource person is the one that doing and provide all the material of teaching. So everyone need to learn same thing. Okay. All right. So introduction to software engineering. Software is pervasive, meaning that in a modern civilization run on software. Nearly all the products, service, and innovation that power the industrialized world depend on software. So if you aren't amazed by the extent to which our economy and culture depend on software, I'll forgive you, because software is largely invisible. You can't see it, you can only experience it indirectly. Let's make it tangible. So this slides means that, of course, nowadays we talk about digitalization, right? So the use of software is in demand. That's why we talk about the modern of civilization. You are in the modern generations, right? So it's a modern civilizations. Everyone use apps. Everyone want to make it easy to access using a technology. That's why we are moving to digitalizations. So modern civil lah. Kita ni modern lah, modern civil. Okay, compared with the previous years lah kan. So everything is innovations. Okay, we call it innovations because the process, the system actually is already there, but in manual. That's why when we change it to electronic based or digitalized, we call it innovation. We innovate something. So it's not a new. It may be in traditional form and manual, but when we make it as a digitalized, it become innovation. For example, like this. Previously, when we call a taxi, okay, we wait at the road, right? And then when the taxi pass, and then you call taxi, right? Something like that. That's manual process when you want to take a cab, taxi, right? Okay. But now we have Grab, right? Grab. You open the apps, and then you can see who is the driver. You can either choose the different car or the different driver if you don't like the face kan. Tengok muka ni macam muka tak boleh percaya je kan. So kalau saya suka saya like, kalau tak suka saya swipe kan. So you can change different. But if you always skip the driver, you might have extend queue. So that's the rule lah. So what I want to say is the changing of digitalizations. So you don't have to wait at the road. You can just stay at your home, open and you can check when is the driver is coming. How much is the price to go to that place? Who is your driver? What car you will get in, right? So this is much more better, much more easy, much more comfortable, right? So we are towards all the innovations in industries to make it all digitalized. Okay, so the second part talking about, of course, software system. Okay, it's invisible. Okay, of course the apps you can use the apps, right? But the service actually, the service is the software, which is you can't touch it, right? It's a service. That's why invisible. You did not realize it actually. You cannot see it actually, but you can use it, right? And you can experience it. Okay, so that's why it's stated there. Let's make it tangible, meaning that instead of you don't know anything about the software, now you are in the process of the introduction of what is the system and what is the software. Let's make it tangible, right? Okay. So again, when we talk about digitalized, so Malaysia is also one of the country, and of course not only Malaysia, right? Everyone in the world, okay, included our country, Malaysia, is towards digitalizations. Okay, if you can see the statistic, okay, MSC Malaysia. So the contributions to the economy, okay, and also the revenue, the export, the development of MSC company, Malaysia company is evolving. It's expanding. Okay, so if you can see also here, Malaysia in ICT industry contribute to our country economy. Okay, very high from years to years, and it become increase every years. Okay, so like I said, that it's not only Malaysia, all over the world. Okay, all over the world, and this is the world spending forecast, which is from 2016 to 2022. When you compare it, what is the highest field? Kan? Communication services is the highest spending IT. This one is like a telco lah, right? We have a Maxi, Celcom. Now you already have that apps, right? The second thing is IT services. Okay? IT services in terms of generate the software. Now everything need a software, so it's all about the IT services. Okay, so devices, your mobile phone, your laptop, okay, and the software itself, okay, is also growing. Okay, the development of the software of the system, and lastly, data centered system. So all this field is consists of IT field. So it keep growing, increasing and increasing from years to years. That's the forecast lah. Of course, when we talk about um, the the sense of IT use, you also know that everyone needs IT. Okay, so let's look into the evolutions of software role. Okay, so it start in around 1950 to 1960. Okay, the early years. We talk about the batch-oriented, limited distribution, custom software. Okay, this one is not much on the IT part lah. That's why it have a batch. I remember that time that if you want to do a software, it will come function by function, batch by batch. Okay, so it have a limited function and still can custom, but it will costly. Okay, and then it grows from 1960 to 1970, which is the second era of IT, where you now can have a multi-user using a system. You use a system and the other person can also use the same system simultaneously. So that's why we call it multi-users lah. So something like e-commerce lah. You want to buy something, but not only you are the one buy. A buy, B cannot buy, right? But it's multi-user. Everyone can access the e-commerce simultaneously. It's a real time. So if you update today, it's automatically updated. Okay, if you want to buy today, you can get your product in the chart immediately. Okay, of course the delivery will take times lah. Databases, you start having a databases, and then this is the productions of software. Okay, and then from 1907 to 1980, all these years you belum lahir lagi kan? Tapi saya dah lahir lah kan? So from here, the third era, okay, where we talk about distribution system. Okay, distribution systems mean that you have a one centralized database that everyone can access in the same centralized database. Okay, so that's why they talk about distributed that system. Okay, and it's integrated with each other lah. And it start embedded intelligence when now we talk about machine learning, AI. Okay, low cost hardware. Okay, we can get from China. You can have your Raspberry Pi, okay, with a low cost. You can have a system with customized where you can buy the hardware which is a cheap price lah. And consumer impact, of course, this era will have a lot of consumer impact on the usefulness, the ease of use, and so on. And then it's keep growing, the fourth era, okay, from 1990 onward to 2000, okay. The powerful of desktop system, object technologies, expert system, okay, because now we have a lot of expert system from the evolutions, the use of artificial neural networks when we talk about the robotics and so on. Parallel computing, okay. Parallel computing, because before, okay, I still remember that when we use a system that only have a centralized distributed system, okay, when there is a high load, okay, example in university lah kan, macam you punya system, if you feature, for example, everyone get the same time access, okay, so traffic jam kan, macam jalan raya lah, kalau banyak sangat kereta, dia akan jam kan. So actually internet also have their own road. So we call also have a traffic. So that's why they think of other solution where it still have a centralized, but it use a parallel computing. So parallel can be duplicate master for each database, or else so each computer, okay, will have their own role. For example, if students want to access SIM, kan, SIM system, so they have one server. UFuture one server, another server for different role. Okay, but all that are run together simultaneously because um, they want to make the traffics loose rather than you go for one road direct. It now have a different road, but all that are updated lah, they connected each other integration. Okay, all right. So talking about the types of software, okay, actually we have two types. One is we call it generic software. Another one is customized. Okay, so the name itself you can imagine, right? Generic means it's general, right? It can have a standalone or mass market. Example for standalone, you can install your word process, your games at your own devices, okay, and it's embedded for each of these function, okay. And for mass market, okay, means that everyone needs it, right? So we have Word, Excel, okay, and so on. Next types is we call it customized. Okay, customized means that the function is same, but different company will be use it. Okay, of course, some of company might have a different, not so different, but have their own added value lah. For example, this bank client management. How many banks we have in Malaysia? Okay, let's talk about the general bank lah kan. CIMB, Maybank, Bank Islam kan. So all that same function, do a transactions, right? But each bank might have a different uniqueness. So if I ask everyone here, which bank system that you most like, or you think that it's easy for you to use it? Bank, Maybank, CIMB, Bank Islam, Muamalat, apa lagi? I think all the bank system is already have their own system, right? So which one you think is have a better user friendly, easy to use for you as a customer? Which one?
Maybank.
Maybank, right? Yes, I also agree with that. Okay, see, if that's why we have a lot of bank, but each bank have different uniqueness. When we talk about the user friendly, when we talk about the maybe they have their own uniqueness for each bank, so it's different even though it's the same, have a transactions and so on, right? But the use step by step is a different, okay, because it developed by a different person. That's why it's customized. Actually, the bank system is already there, and the developer is just customize it based on the requirement of each bank. Okay, so process support, okay, production of object, business and information process. Oh, when just now you talk about the Maybank is the best, okay. Why? Okay, actually Maybank already hired the UX research, yeah, and UX research is the one who do a research to make sure that the system is easy and at the same time secure, okay? Secure by but you know, Maybank, when we talk about security, right? So that's why we have hacker kan. Hacker ni kalau berapa secure dia lagi dia nak test kan. So of course, okay, they have their own security, but we know that Maybank, CIMB also have their lagging, right? Because that's the purpose of this hacker kan. Lagi dia kuat, dia lagi nak try. Okay. So other things, process support like e-commerce, okay, e-commerce system, okay. For example, that there is a lot of shop, okay, but each shop have a different e-commerce system. Don't talk about Shopee because Shopee is only one system. You can compare Shopee dengan Lazada, kan? We have Shopee, Lazada, but e-commerce that I mentioned just now is e-commerce system that developed by own shop. Shop A maybe dia jual baju, kan? Shop B dia mungkin jual jewelry. Shop C maybe dia jual games ke software. So dia punya transactions same. Ada seller, ada buyer, kan? But each functions might have a uniqueness for each shop. Okay, so it can be customized lah. Okay, dulu yes, we create a system using a hard code. Okay, and it takes time, it takes cost. Okay, that's why the easiest one that we use the customized software, and then we just customize it. Beli je software and then you customize based on the requirement of the company. Okay. Alright. So the question is, what is software? Right. We talk about software. So what is the software? So software is computer program. Okay. Remember, when people ask you, apa tu software? Apa tu system? Kan? It's a computer program. That's why intangible. You cannot touch it. You cannot touch the program, right? Dia bukan macam laptop ni. Okay. So you boleh touch this. This is laptop. So can you touch a program? No. Because it's, can you touch a software? No, right? Because it's a program. You can see it. You can experience it, right? For example, Word. Boleh touch Word tak? Tak boleh kan? But if you touch kertas sheet kan, you boleh lah touch dia kan, something like that lah. So software is a computer program and associated with the documentation such as the requirement, design model, and also the user requirement. Meaning that it's a program. But when you want to develop a program, it will consist of the requirement, design, and also the testing part until the manuals. So software product may be developed for a particular customer or may be developed for a general market. This is what we talk about the types of the software just now, for generic and also customized. Okay, so for particular customer, you can say it is a generic. Yeah, it's a generic purposely for that customer. Okay, and developed for general market, it can be customized. Okay, but actually it's also can do both lah, do both juga. Macam Word kan, Word actually for general market. Okay, so new software can be created by developing new program, configuring generic software system, or reusing existing software. So when we talk about new software, okay, new software means you need to create new program, right? Okay, or okay, it can innovations of the existing software. So that's why it's called configuring generic software system. The software is already there, but you reuse it, you modify it to become a new software. Okay, so let's look into what is the characteristics of a software. So while software is developed or engineered, its manufactured is not a significant activity. Software doesn't wear out. Much existing software has been custom built rather than assembled from existing component, although component-based software engineering is an emerging trend in industry. Okay. Software, apa maksud doesn't wear out? Anyone?
Expired.
Betul. Dia tak boleh expired, dia tidak boleh macam it still can be evolved. It still can be modified. Unless it have a different major changing. Contohnya different platform kan, but still you can customize it. So dia bukannya macam baju kan, you pakai lama-lama, you always use it, it become wear out kan, atau koyak ke, lusuh ke kan. So software ni is still there until you change another technology, another platform, then you cannot move the software. It's only for that particular platform, for example lah. Okay, so the development, okay, this one is not a significant activity. It means the development of the software might have a different process. Okay, that's why it's not a significant activity. Dia bukan sama je. Macam mana cara makan? Okay, ambil lauk, masuk dalam mulut. Gitulah, ataupun you pakai sudu masuk dalam mulut. Contohlah kan, benda yang sama maksudnya. But to develop a software, it might have a different method of process. Okay, it's depend on the requirement, the developer, and so on. Okay, that's why when we talk about a software, remember that last week, why there is a lot of software abandoned and fail. Because it's go through different activity, and the process or the activity, is it a standardized? Is it a good practice, or is just duplicate? That's why later on we will look into why there is a lot of software being abandoned, not being used, or ada kan banyak kan, dah buat sistem tak ada orang pakai. Kenapa tak ada orang pakai? Sebab bukan user friendly pun, orang tak perlu pun, something like that. Okay, so this is from the last week as well, from reported Standish Group. Standish Group ni ialah company yang buat research lah on the failure success of the system development. Okay, since 1994, okay, Standish found that 31% software been cancelled. Project proposed, but 31% cancel when it's not done yet. 53% more than over budget. You propose that budget, contohlah. This system costs you about 100,000, but towards the end, you did not prepare well. Okay, you did not prepare well on the budgeting and costing. It's turned out double up. So when double up, you don't have money, then it's failed. Okay, and in 2004, okay, reported that 30% total fail. Ni dah siap, tapi failure. Okay, or some even cancel. Okay, 50% over budget. Banyak tu, half-half, right? And 90% late. Imagine you ordering a system, but it stated that 90% late. 10% saja yang success. So what happened? Okay, in 2014, okay, it's report that 31.1 total fail or cancel, 52.7 over budget. If you can see, the percentage is increasing, right? So average 60.2 completed, which is around not more than 20% yang success kan, yang complete kan. But who knows, the completed might fail also because cannot be used, or it's not full the needs of requirement of the users or customer. 9% on time and on budget. Still, these two, completed and on time and on budget, but we don't know the success. Okay, so software crisis, okay, by Friedrich Brooks, okay, mentioned that no silver bullet information processing, 1986. Friedrich mentioned that no silver bullet. Apa maksud dia? Ini dia punya buku lah kan, buku dia tentang no silver bullet, mention that Brooks ni, Frederick Brooks ni identify inherent problem associated with software production, which are caused by the nature of the software itself. And second reason, essence, unavoidable problem, and accidents could engineer solution to this, which is included the complexity, conformity, changeability, and invisibility. Okay, so look at this image. Okay, schedule, talk about times, scope, we talk about the quality, cost, we talk about the resource. All these three is tightened together. Fail one of it, your project or your software might fail as well. Okay, so same mentioned by books lah. Okay, so it may because of the software itself, or it may because of the production, meaning that the process or the method being used to produce the software is not a good practice. Okay, or the software is completed but like this one, complex, conformity, changeability tak ada kan, invisibility. Invisibility ni maksudnya tak nampak dia punya function tu. Okay, so why software project fail? Okay, so estimation error, project that are estimated poorly are doomed from the start. Estimation error ni is mostly on the costing, on the requirement. Okay, perform failure, siap, completed, however, okay, this one not completed. Okay, perform failure means that in the process of development it may have a poor planning, which is bad methodology choice. This is the process that you will learn in chapter 2 later on. Incorrect and optimistic status reporting. Okay, siap, but on the reporting part. Unrealistic schedule pressure. The project is big, but you have given 1 month to complete it. The pressure make all the developers suffer and make the systems macam tu je kan. Maksudnya not as fully satisfied your users or your customer need. New and changing requirement during development, inadequate quality of control, poor communications. Okay, that's why in team, okay, normally to develop a software, okay, we have a team. That's why later on you will learn about the last week also you have the project management tool kan. So normally when we develop a system, there is a team. Ada programmer, ada UX researcher, ada apa lagi? Web designer, and also the head of the team, which is the project manager. So bad communication or poor communication is also another reason that the project will be failed. Okay, perceived failure is the sum of estimation failure and performance failure. So this is the three main reason. Okay, estimation error, perform failure, and perceived failure. Yang ini maksudnya dia punya first requirement lah, estimations, dia dah error dah. Yang second tu in the process of development, and the last two is mostly after this software is developed. So perceived failure ni in terms of the response from the customer or the users. Okay, maybe your users need a different system, but you deliver a different system. That's the poor requirement. Poor requirement. You may skip the requirement from the users. You may not involve your users. You only see your stakeholder or customer once, and then you develop. You did not get in touch with them, and at the end you develop a system that not comply with what they want. Something like that, perceived failure. Okay, so another thing that we talk about the software problem. Okay, it may because of the hardware sophistication has outpaced our ability to use the hardware potential. This may include the specifications of the software. We know that the technology is keep moving fast, right? So the changing of the technology and also the platform may not suitable or not match with the requirement of the software. So at the end, you cannot use it. Yeah? You fail to get a requirement from the users what your current system have. That after you develop the system, you need to move the system into their company, right? But when you deliver it, actually, the server is not supported by the hardware. That's one of the reason software problem. Our ability to build new program cannot keep pace with a demand for new program because of the fast technology. Sometimes that's why IT when we talk about IT persons, okay, later on when you go out, okay, actually I have experience in industry as well. Okay, before I joined academic, okay, in UMS, like I said that I've been there in UMS for 9 years. Okay, I was with Forest Research Institute of Malaysia, FRAME. Ya, frame dekat Kepung. Siapa orang Semenanjung ni boleh tahu lah kan frame Kepung kan. So I was IT person, okay, IT officer, which not in the IT department tau, but in biodiversity department. Imagine I'm the only one who know IT. So people will see me that anything about computer, you should know. Bukan je computer, anything about computer. I mean, not only desktop or laptop tau. Computer means your printer yang ada software lah kan. You should know also. So actually, we also have a different field. We have programmer who work at the back, right? We have designer will work UX researcher for the whole system. Web designer for the interface. Content developer pun lain lagi. But when they know you are from computer science or IT, so they will look you know everything about computer. Okay, so actually is my experience. Okay, actually I'm graduated from University Malaysia Sabah. Okay, my first degree is from UMS. Okay, and I'm taking e-commerce program. Dulu e-commerce ni in lah. Sebab masa zaman saya tu, e-commerce ni belum lagi. So that time is the trending of using e-commerce. And to develop a website, you need taking one course. So e-commerce course ni is taking about to develop a website until the integrated of the system e-commerce, ethics and so on. Course sekarang tak payah buat website, you banyak je website builder kan. You boleh guna Wix, you boleh guna apa lagi, banyak website builder, Weebly and so on. Banyak lagi. But dulu, we don't have that website builder. So we create from a sketch. I still remember before we use Notepad. Kita guna Notepad tau. Kita guna hard code. So kita buat hard code, kita kena remember lah all the coding tu and type, and then kita kena play kan dekat browser. Baru kita nampak dia punya output. So buat satu-satu lah, buat table kan, buat coding table, keluar table, lepas tu integrate, which is taking a lot of time. Okay, and after that, okay, we learn use Dreamweaver. Dreamweaver ni dia macam install software lah, macam you guna Adobe Photoshop, Adobe kan semua. You buat website menggunakan Dreamweaver. What is the best Dreamweaver? You can see the coding and the design side by side. So you buat coding, dia nampak design dia macam mana. Berbanding before you guna Notepad kan. Notepad you kena save HTML, XHTML, and then baru you play dekat browser, baru you nampak output dia, which is lambat lah. Tapi Dreamweaver ni, you need to buy the software lah. Kita boleh nampak directly, side by side macam tu lah. Okay, so it's a course, satu course program. Okay, dalam masa yang sama adalah belajar transaction apa semua kan. But sekarang orang tak pandang dah course on e-commerce. That's why UMS rebranding this course. They changed to business computing. Okay, so besar lagi lah dia belajar kan tentang business on the computing part, which is to create a software software system. Okay, so saya selit-selit dengan saya punya experience. So I also have experience on become IT officer lah. So from time to time I will share my experience with you all. Okay. So our ability to maintain existing program is threatened by their poor design and our inadequate resource. Dulu-dulu we don't talk about the aesthetic or the beautiful or the design. Asal boleh function je, okay. Right. But now we have a lot of demand. Yang interface dia mesti user friendly, sedap mata memandang. Okay, so poor design is another cost actually. That's why we have different web designer, content developer, programmer, project manager, different role. Okay, if you work in the team. Okay, but later on when you do your final year project, you doing your own project lah. You are the programmer, you are the designer kan. So that's the difference lah. But now we are learning in the behavior of doing a software development. Okay, so management concern. Okay, managers frequent ask, why does development take so long? Why can't I find the error before the software is released? Why do we have difficulty measuring the progress of the software? Okay, so because they don't have the knowledge about IT. Okay, so I share with you what happened. Okay, because they don't know IT. Okay, they asked me to create a website. So I tell them that it will take time lah. Not you ask me a website, so immediately I can have it, right? So give me about dulu-dulu lah, mula-mula dulu 6 months. Now in 2 weeks also you can develop, okay, using a Dreamweaver. But because they don't know what is website, what is the software, they think that okay, I ask you today, tomorrow you can provide me the software. Kalau sekarang boleh lah, kalau ada website builder macam Wix kan. So Wix, the platform that I really interested in, because in 5 minutes or less than 5 minutes, you can create your own website using their own template lah. But the template is stunning lah, very stunning, because they have their own UX researcher. Okay. Bila dia tak tahu tentang IT, they will ask you these questions. So why the development take so long? Okay, I thought that tomorrow I can have it. Banyak cantik muka dia kan. Punyalah kita nak buat. So what trick I do? Okay, I ask them, okay, come in my room. Okay, see I'm doing a coding. So saya tunjuk lah. Macam saya kata lah, Dreamweaver is much more easy tau. You can copy and paste the coding. Kalau dia punya behavior sama, actually you can get the code, okay, from other else, and then you can just customize it, right? Okay, of course it's standard to put a table, to put an image kan, then you copy paste. Okay, what I show them is the hard coding. Okay, so see this is my work. I need to do coding line by line. So how come you want me tomorrow, okay, or the next day? So I need at least 2 weeks, something like that. So kita dia tak tahu. So bila dia masuk, bila dah siap lah kan, the second question, buka-buka error. Sometimes we forgot to change the link kan. So sometimes bila buka error kan, keluarlah apa-apa error dekat situ. So dia kata, kenapa pula error ni? Kan? Why do we have difficult measuring the progress of software development? Okay. Of course they don't bother pun tentang measuring ni kalau the one that don't know about IT. Okay, but if you are doing in group, okay, your project manager will ask you to doing this lah. Okay, so this concern have led to the development of software engineering practice. That's why, okay, now, okay, when you learn about software engineering, you will learn how to do a best practice to develop a software. Okay, so before we talk about what is software, now software engineering. Okay, so software engineering is an engineering discipline. Engineered, develop kan, engineering that is concerned with all aspects of software production. you want to develop the software, it's a production process. Engineering is the production of the software. Okay, and it's have a lot of aspect lah. Later on you will go through what is the aspect. But talking about what is software engineering is the engineering discipline for develop the software. That's why we call it software production. Okay, software engineers should adopt a systematic and organized approach to their work and use appropriate tool and technique depend on the problem to be solved. Okay, when we want to create a system, it should start with a problem. Okay, example that COVID-19. Okay, so everyone need to stay at home. You couldn't go to the shop to buy something, right? That's the problem. So we come the solution to use the e-commerce or website. So everyone can still buy a product using e-commerce platform, something like that. So any software development should come with a problem. And each problem might have a different tool or technique to solve it. Mana boleh pukul rata semua sama je kan? Tapi dulu-dulu developer use same template. Nak buat ni, guna template ni, guna template ni. That's not a good practice one. Okay, of course we have a different tool and technique depend on what's problem to be solved. Okay, and not only that, okay, of course we have a development constraint, means the resources, means the cost, times, and also the one that in the rectangle just now. So all that need to be considered. Okay, so software engineering, why? The economic of all developed nations depend on software. Wait, let me check the times. Tadi kita kelas start pukul 10 kan? Okay. I thought that we already 12. Baru pukul 11. Okay, ada 1 jam lagi. So the economic of all developed nations depend on software. Of course, when we talk about the development of country, digitalized company, because Malaysia is not yet developed company, kan? Kita masih lagi dalam proses lah. Okay, so you need to have this software. More and more system are software control. Okay, expenditure on software represent a significant fraction of GNP in all development country. Ini you boleh Google lah. GNP ni apa? Gross net production ke apa? You Google, boleh Google. This is a part of the economic of the country lah to become a development country. Okay, should we always start from in main every apa ni? How much does it cost to fix? So this is the one that when we talk about when we want to develop a system, okay, which tool and technique that been used, it's depend on the purpose, depend on the cost, time, and so on. Okay, complex system can only be developed through theories, method, and tools for professional software development. Again, this one mentioned that any system, either complex or it's just a general system, it should go through the theory, method, and also tools. Okay, bukan sahaja follow template. Dulu-dulu orang suka buat macam tu. You nak develop apa, follow template yang sama. Ambil, just customize. Ambil, just customize. But every software, every company might have a different requirement. Example, bank tadi kan? So it should go through different process and include the professional software development lah. Okay, so what are software engineering methods? Okay, it's a structured approach to develop software development, which includes system model, notations, rule, design advice, and process guidance. Okay, software engineering method is something structured approach. Structured approach ni maksudnya method yang tersusun lah, yang structured, yang actually is already been developed by other researchers, then it's been used for developer. So it have many models, many methods lah. Nanti later on we will go through. Just to give you an overview, what is software engineering method is structured approach. model description, rules, recommendation, and process guidance. All these are defined as a method. So kalau orang tanya, apa tu software engineering method? So your answer should be, it's a structured approach. Betul. It's a model descriptions. Okay. It's rules, how to develop a system lah, rules. Okay. It's a recommendation, which is the best practice, and guidance, guideline, the process guideline or guidance, macam tu. Okay, so all these are mean by software engineering method. So what are the costs of software engineering? Okay, when we talk about the costs, okay, roughly 60% of the costs are development costs, 40% are testing costs. So if you can see that more costs goes for development, and the another 40% is for the testing costs, which is quite high also, right? For custom software, evolution costs often exceed development costs, meaning that sometimes when you already develop a system, before this we call it maintenance actually, but the word maintenance is not appropriate already, because when we talk about maintenance, you maintain the same system, right? But when we talk about evolution, it's bigger than that, which means that it may change because of the different platform. It may change because of added features or functions. That's why we use the word evolution instead of maintenance. Maintenance, okay? Costs vary depending on type of system requirement, okay? And this cost is depend on what kind of system that you want to develop and the requirement from the users or stakeholder. Okay, the more requirement can be the features or function lah. I want the system can be intelligent. It can produce a report at a one time. Example, that's one of the requirement asking by your stakeholder. The more requirement, of course, it will take costly. Okay, and then the type of system. If the system is only static, then static saja kan. Of course, not much cost that needed, right? But if the system need more artificial intelligence, needs more interactions, need more AI or robotic, so it will costly. Distribution, of course, depend development model that is used. Okay. Also, when we choose a method, a model, okay, it also involve costing. Okay. So that's why when you later on, when you learn topic 2 on the process, which is talking about the method of software engineering, you need to choose which is the best or suitable method based on the course you have. Okay, so that's the explanation from it. So now we want to compare what is software engineering versus computer science. Okay, sama ke? Kan? Kalau you tengok ada course ISE kan, Information System Engineering, and the other program computer science, right? So is this same or different, right? So what is different between software engineering and computer science? So computer science is concerned with theory and fundamental. However, software engineering is concerned with the practicalities of the development and delivering useful software. Okay, meaning, computer science ni is more on theory and fundamental. That's why you belajar on the coding kan, coding apa nak guna, kan, something like that lah, the theory, the fundamental of develop a system. But when we talk about software engineering, engineer, remember the word engineer, okay? So it's more on the practical of the development and delivering the software. So it's process of production of the software, practicalities. That's why I put highlight on that word. Computer science focus on theory and fundamental, but software engineering more on practicalities. All right. So computer science theories are still insufficient to act as a complete underpinning for software engineering. Tak cukup. Tak cukup je kalau you belajar coding. Okay, programming, coding, tak cukup. You need to develop a full system, right? That's why software engineering is needed in this course. Okay. So myths, mitos, semua benda ada mitos kan. Myths in software development. Number one, getting the program to work is the developer only job. Okay, maksud dia ini mitos lah, mitos. So getting the program to work is the developer's only job. No, right? It will involve a lot of things, from the requirement, from the development process, from the testing, verifications, and validations until the delivery process. So it's not only to make sure that how the program works. Okay, programmer can only assess quality when the program is running. Okay, so quality is not talking about, okay, program function, that's the good quality. No, we have a lot of things to be assessed. The aesthetic, cantik ke tak cantik. The user friendly, boleh guna ke tak boleh guna. A lot of things need to be assessed when we talk about the quality of good software. Okay, the only deliverable of a software project is a working program. Okay, this is another thing. Okay, when you doing your FYP later on, kan, you have the methodology part when you put a deliverable. Okay, so deliverable is not only the working program, it also included the documentations where later on you will learn about the remember your another 50% from the group project, you will learn about SRS, software software ke sistem sama je lebih kurang kan. Software requirement, saya lupa apa SRS, system requirement, apa, can anyone help me? So bila saya dah bercakap saya lupa dah.
Software requirement system.
Software requirement, apa yang S last lagi ni? Saya ingat
System.
system. Software requirement system. Are you sure? Sekejap saya check. SRS. Okay. Specification. That's the word that missing, okay, in my mind. Okay. Specification. The S at the first, it can be software, it can be system. Okay, but in your case, we talk about the software kan. So software requirement specification, SRS, which is to gather the requirement from the stakeholder or from the users. And the second document that you will learn is system, SDD, okay, system design documentation. Okay, before you start your development, you need to design it first, right? So you will design it using UML. Okay, actually it have more than UML lah, but in your program, the resource person is asking us to teach UML lah. UML is using a use case. Okay, and then last document you have system testing document. Okay, system testing report. Sorry. So after your system is developed, you need to do a testing. That's another document. Okay, and then apa lagi? Only delivery. Okay dah. There are a lot of software standard. Ini pun sama. Macam saya kata, every system, every software is developed with different purpose. So you cannot be standardized. Yes, it can be standardized as a best practice. However, it's depend on the problem, right? Problem or system type and the cost. Okay? It can be have a different method, different tools, different theories. Okay, they are recognized state of the art practice. Same. They are recognized state of the art practice. Bukan not recognized state of the art of the practice. Okay, we talk about a lot of more than the practices. Okay, more programmer can be added to a project as needed. Okay, of course you cannot simply add programmer. Okay, before the project start, you need to have a budgeting, right? Costing. Okay, so costing is included the resources lah, where you have how many programmer to complete the course. Tu yang you ada project management tool kan, to have a task programmer. How many programmer you need? Example, for this system, you need 2 programmer. So what's the task for each programmer? Of course, not duplicate, right? So you cannot simply have more programmer. Okay, it also based on the budgeting and so on. Okay, so key challenge on management, in the part of management as a project manager. Okay, this is the key challenge: heterogeneity, delivery, and also trust. Heterogeneity means developing technique for building software that can cope with heterogeneous platform and execution environment. Heterogeneous means that different platform. Okay, kalau kita cakap pasal homogeneity, sama je kan? But when we talk about heterogeneous platform, we have a different platform. That's one, when you develop a website, you need to double check with the browser, because we have a lot of different browser. Kita ada Internet Explorer, kita ada Mozilla kan? Kita ada apa lagi? Safari. So different platform. Okay, and also the environment also different. So that's the challenge lah. Okay, you need to make sure that all platform. Another example is mobile phone. We have Android and also Apple, right? So that's also different platform, kan? Next, delivery. Developing technique that lead to faster delivery of a software. When you can estimate that the system is completed, and then you need to do a testing and delivery to your stakeholder or customer. Okay, so if you wrongly estimations the delivery time, it may lead to fail of the project. Trust. Okay, developing technique that demonstrate that software can be trusted by its user. Trust. This is talking about the security issues, okay? Because system kan. So if the system is need a high security, example banking. So that's the challenge lah for you to manage the team. For the users, okay, software engineering must produce software that is extremely reliable, easy to use, okay, and subject to audits. As a user, okay, that's why I love to do UX. UX is about user experience. We know that we are all human, but we have different perceptions, different thought. Then, for example, how do you eat snake? Then, sometimes you have, not sometimes, everyone have a different process how you eat snake. You cut it, you just break it, or you ask other one to open it, right? Other example that the use of a pencil, right? So how you use a pencil? Sometimes people use a different way. Pernah nampak tak yang orang tulis terbalik lah kan? Tapi pada dia is dia punya behavior, dia punya tulis macam tu. That's why human have a different perceptions, and different types, different perception, different behavior. All these are influenced by the environment, the generations, your generation and my generation, of course, different also. My generation is generation Y. We always asking a question, why like that? Why like that? Your generation is a Z generation ke? Tidur Z. Atau yang apps generation. So generation also have a different the environment also, and maybe talking about the culture. So all these behavior are different. But for me, I believe that we can make it as a common. That's my research lah. Okay, I'm talking about that. Okay, so on the user part also, you want the system should be reliable. Means that you can use it as is to use, no errors, right? depend on subject to audits mean that how users use the system. Okay. 10 vital considerations for software implementations. Okay, this one is consideration lah when you want to implement a software. This is the 10 vital that you need to consider. Okay, first, talking about the security, right? Keep property records data secure. That's the issues currently on the TikTok kan. Ada siapa yang baca current issue tentang TikTok yang US? Ada kan? Itu very interesting kalau you read all about that. Dulu kita cerita pasal Facebook. Okay, sekarang on the data lah, data security. Malaysia pun ada kan? My Sejahtera kan? Data tu siapa yang pegang apa semua kan? Misuse, data bank apa semua. So the security. Okay. Second, sustainability. Build user capacity, sustain. You want to have a system yang sustain. Can be used, can be adapt, can be extend. Macam tu. Third, prepare for a fundamental cultural business process, change, sustainability. This one is same thing lah, sustain juga. Dia boleh expand because we know companies sometimes you have one process and then when you expand your business, it may need different process or expand the process. Okay, so it should be sustainable, sustain also lah. Phase proposal, scalability. Okay, scalability also can be expand sama lah lebih kurang scale because the phases of the different proposal. Macam tadi lah, company tu kecil mula-mula, lama-lama dia makin besar kan. So it can be scalability lah. So number 5, ensure integration, sustainable and scalability digabungkan. Maksudnya macam dekat university. Okay, when you develop a system, of course university also have their limitation. Their IT person might have their limitation. Sometimes they couldn't develop that system or they don't have a resource to develop. So what they do is they outsource it. Make sure the system can be integrated with the existing system. That's the issues lah. Pernah nampak sistem macam sekarang lah dekat UIT. Kan? We have okay, actually I listening my voice to make sure that you also listen my voice lah. Then when something happen, I need to stop first. Okay, because of internet connection lah. So that's happened. Okay, when different developer, it may have integration issues. Okay, tu yang kita ada 10 sistem which you need to open differently. But now UiTM is try to integrate it kan. Dia buatlah satu desktop and then inside the desktop you can access all the system in the desktop. But that's one of the solution for the integration lah. But make sure lah kalau, perasan tak? Kalau you masuk sistem, when we talk about integrations, you only have one login. Kan? And one login can access any system yang inilah included dalam university kan. But what happen now? You kena login ini, login itu, login ini kan, different login process, which is not integrate lah tu. Okay. What else? Jadi kita cakap pasal ni, bukan saya nak mengata kemudian tak. This is happen in everywhere. UMS pun macam tu, banyak dia. Okay. Dulu saya kerja di Frame pun, we have a lot of system that not been integrate and also abandoned. That's also the issues lah. Review legislative change, of course undang-undang apa semua kan, government issues, government inilah yang berkata TikTok. Okay, this is government legislative and also the company as well. Support the provision of online services because we want to make it digital. Don't create a system that only stand alone. Means that it can be run in your computer only. It cannot do online. So tak guna kan? Identify opportunities to increase revenue generations. Okay, this one also under sustainability. The opportunity, meaning that if you deliver the system, is that end of the project? No, you can come up with the maintenance punya apa ni tender. That's why it's separately. Development satu project, Maintenance pun satu projek, because the maintenance macam senang, but that's why the word maintenance is not being used now lagi. Kita guna evolution, because the job scope is not only just maintain, but it may increase the use, increase the capacity, banyak lagi. So that's why evolve. Okay. Enforce hardware and software policies. Okay, make sure included the hardware and software policies. Sometimes you create a system that cannot be used by this software, so it should be included. Okay, the hardware and software policies. So lastly, ensure stakeholder support. So every time you need to involve your from the beginning, your before, your current, and also your after. You need to involve your stakeholder support, because they might not accepted your software when you want to deliver it. That's the hard time lah, kan? Okay. What are the attributes of good software? Okay. So when we talk about good software, okay, of course, the software should deliver the required function and performance to the user, and should be maintainable, dependable, and acceptable. Okay, bukan je boleh maintain, boleh depend. Maksudnya after you deliver the system, the IT person there or the person in charge the system can use it without your developer ni. Okay, so you need to provide the training, or you need to provide the manuals, macam tu lah. And also acceptable. They accept the design, they accept the process and so on. Okay, so this is the 1, 2, 3, 4. When we talk about good software, should be maintainability, dependability, efficiency, and also acceptability. Okay, so this is the 4 attributes that the good software should have. All right, that's the end of the first part. Any question? Am I too fast?
No, Doctor. No. So far so good. So good.
Soalan.
Apa dia?
So far so good.
So far so good. Okay, thank you for the response. Okay, so you want to take 5-minute breaks, or you want me to continue to the next slide? Next slide tak banyak lah, dalam 10 slide only.
Boleh sambung
Continue or take a break?
Continue.
Apa Taufik cakap macam dalam kelambu tu? Saya tak dengar.
Saya one. Continue.
Ha?
Continue.
Continue. Nak cepat habis kan? Okay, continue. Because not so much slide, only another 10 more. Okay? But make sure you understand lah. Okay, kalau ada question, you just interrupt me, or you can use a chat. Continue, because we have face-to-face class after this. Okay. Okay, but my time still there lah kan, 10 to 12. Okay. Alright. Okay, let me continue. Okay. Okay, kalau saya pun I don't mind to continue, because I did read some of the complaint from the students. Sometimes when do a class online, they want a break. Okay, just a few minutes break lah. Tak tahulah toilet break ke apa ke kan. So sometimes they want to digest the content at first kan. Pun depends. So that's why I ask you first. Okay. Alright. So the next part is talking about the value and the cost of quality. So cost benefit trade-off. Making changes to improve software quality require time and money. Okay. To spot the problem, isolate its source, connect it to the real cause, fix the requirement, design and code, test the fix for the problem, test the fix has not caused new problem, change the documentations. Okay, so when do a testing, or maybe when the error, because sometimes when you do a testing, that's why we have a tester. Tester ni bukannya orang yang cuba macam makanan tukang rasa tu, bukan. Tester ni is another job. You will know about IT field. Ada satu profession we call is a tester. You need to have a certified to become a tester. Okay, so the one who develop shouldn't the one who test the system, because you know the behavior of the system. So that's why you couldn't find the error. Okay, that's why tester is the one, or also your stakeholder or your customer need to do a testing. So when we talk about the change of to improve the quality of the system software, it's include all this process, which is taking a time and also money. Okay, so for a given change to make sense, the improvement needs to pay for all these tasks. That's why when we propose a project, okay, maintenance is another project. Okay, so when we do a maintenance, we spot all this problem, and that's another timeline. Okay, that's why it will have a different cost. I still remember when I worked in Frame. Okay, I'm not the one who developed, but I'm the project manager, project coordinator. Okay, I'm the one who think about the system, because I'm the middleman. Okay, I'm the middleman who translate what's the requirement from the researcher to be translate to the system that what they want lah, kan? And researcher and also developer. So I'm the translator between these two. Okay. So what's the researcher want? I need to transfer in different language for the development. Same goes. Either tu lah, kan? Lain cakap dengan developer lain. So the word used is me as a translation, as a middleman. That's why my job is a coordinator or the project manager. Okay. Because researcher ni dia cuma tahu je, okay, dia nak sistem tu macam ni, macam ni, macam ni, kan? But we as a IT person, we know to do that, okay, we need to have that platform, that requirement. So that's how we translate to the developer, okay? So features, bugs, trade-off. Meeting the needs of user, not to mention marketing, require adding features. Sometimes when you already deliver the system, masa tu lah bila the users is using the system. Okay, mula-mula you test to one person. Dia pun kata, bagus kalau ada features yang macam ni, dia minta tambah lagi. So you, another one test. Because that's why I said human have a different behavior. So each person, we don't know what's their own requirement or how they use the system, right? So sometimes not the error, but the adding features, they require that it will be good to have. Because my project in Frame is to develop a first biodiversity Malaysia database. Tak ada lagi tau dekat Malaysia ni, biodiversity Malaysia masa tu lah. So I'm the one, kalau you tengok, now they already rebrand the system lah. Before that, we call it clearinghouse mechanism. Okay, that's the one I developed it from the sketch lah. Okay, but I'm not the developer. Okay, we outsource it because we have money from the government. Okay, so but I'm the project manager lah who manage all the project until it's been running lah. Now it's already rebrand to apa nama dia, MyBiz. MyBiz bunyi macam My Beach je kan? Bukan. Dia MyBiz, maksudnya My Biodiversity Information System, MyBIS, MyBiz. Okay. Itu ya first biodiversity Malaysia. And the good thing that when I create the project, actually clearinghouse mechanism is a project to be used as an ASEAN country. Kita ada 10 ASEAN countries, Indonesia, Singapore, Myanmar, Cambodia. Malaysia become the role model. Okay, when we complete the system, we been share with the ASEAN country. And actually Singapore is the best system, but they have limitations on the users. The purpose of this database is they have to for researcher, of course, for they are doing research and decision maker lah kan. maksudnya kan, kalau pokok ni, dia database biodiversity ni dia include flora dan fauna. So dia perlu tahu information yang macam pokok ni endangered species. Pokok ni dah extinct. So bila dia endangered species extinct tu dah tak ada. But endangered species, you need to do a conservation. Kita kena kawal. So itu untuk decision maker. In terms of users, public users, okay, awareness. Okay, they need to know what is the scientific name for this pokok. You tahu, you tengok pokok orchid semua sama aja kan? Actually, Orchidaceae, family of orchid, have a different type, genus and species. So kalau tengok pokok orchid sama, kita panggil tu, itu pokok apa? Orchid. Itu pokok apa? Orchid. Tapi itu orchid kuning, itu orchid merah, lain kan? So actually it's a different genus and different species. Dia ada taxonomy dia sendirilah. So that's why I learn about all that also lah. Okay. So when we deliver the system and the users start to use it, so they might figure out that they need additional features. Okay. Or maybe they found a bugs. Okay. Bugs and reduce time for testing. This is important to doing a testing, because sometimes we might, because of the limitation of the time, okay, you might miss the testing. Asal deliver saja kan. But when you miss this testing, it will create a lot of error, okay, which is not good actually for your company reputations, right? Deliver system tapi banyak error. That's why you need to do in-house testing, external testing first before you deliver. So after deliver, the error will be reduced. Normally the error will come when multiple user which is have a multiple and different behavior. Okay, that's the good thing actually. So do the features increase user productivity more than the bugs decrease it? Okay, yang ni problem. Do the features increase user productivity more than the bugs decrease it? So yang mana satu when you deliver the system? So both are important, right? Difficult to answer this question. Sebab tu dia kata difficult to answer this question because data on users is sparse and other factor like reputation usually take precedence. That's what I mentioned just now. Okay. Quality for free. Okay. So this note is designed by the resource person, and that's why I need to go through. But it increasing quality always more expensive. But in terms of total cost of production and maintenance, no. Okay. That's why when we talk about quality, kan, expensive sebenarnya, expensive. Kan? Expensive than the cost of production. Sepatutnya lah. But that's why I said that evolution, but we separate. If you put it together, the cost is very high. That's why we separate the cost of tender tu kan, kita buat separate. Development satu cost, maintenance satu cost. Contohlah, for development system, actually before I've been in frame, there is a system lah being developed from the previous one. But they want totally outsourced and without the project manager. 1 million. Okay, 1 million and the system cannot be used. Okay, so when I come there and I've been given this project, our cost is quite high actually. Okay, but it's very useful and it have a big data. Okay, 700,000. 700,000 untuk development. Sebab banyak benda. Okay, but that one is the most cheaper than the others. Ada dekat Sabah pun ada dia nak buat biodiversity database. Dia punya pun million. Sama juga. Until now they cannot solve it. Okay, but ours is success. And the maintenance is cost 250,000 every year. That's why I get the injection, but the total 250,000 is included the training and also the documentation and so on lah, not purposely for the maintenance lah. Kalau maintenance saja berapa? 80,000 ke macam tu. So if there is an issues, I will report to the developer. Okay, within the maintenance contract, they will send me the patches to to fix the error. Something like that lah. Dia hantar patches, saya update. Saya pun kena faham sistem tu juga because I'm the one that who manage the system after that. Okay. In fact, if you focus on quality from the start, then you tend to produce component with fewer defects. You spend less time debugging. You have more time in your schedule. See, when we talk about quality, it should start from the beginning. Not after you completed, then you do an assessment on the quality. No, that will increase your cost. Okay. So quality delay are expensive. Thus, it makes sense to focus on improving component quality before testing to catch defect early. That's why the development and testing cost, okay, is included. Okay, so it's already been tested before you deliver it. Okay. Software quality dilemma. Okay, if you produce software with terrible quality, then you lose because no one will use it. This will become the abandoned system. Okay. If you spend a lot of time and a lot of money to create a software system, then you lose because you will be late on market. Because nowadays people do a research, macam government, right? You cannot simply take that company, okay, this job is given to you. No. When the cost is over 50,000, 100,000, you need to have a tender. And you need to compete to get the tender. Huh? Of course, sometimes the company have their own choice, right? Because they've been dealing with the company for so long and they know the reputations of the company. Okay, kadang-kadang lah. That's why we try to negotiate with them. Try to reduce your cost. Okay, put everything there, but try to reduce the cost and the schedules that you want to deliver us as what we put it in the tender document. Okay, so kita bagi tahu lah dia macam bukanlah kita kata rasuah, but we give that information. Kalau dia kata dia tak boleh exceed, kata oh this is exceed of our limit, it's too cheap. Contoh lah macam tu. So they will lose the cost lah. Because normally as a project manager lah kan, we should estimate as their cost. So kita punya costing tu mesti macam reliable lah. Taklah merugikan developer, taklah makan duit government kan, highly cost. No, we do a lot of research. I'm the one do a research. So the trick to balance is the development, construction and testing, time and cost, the software product quality. That's why you need to balance all this. That's why in a part of your production later on, you also have a topic that called verification and validation. Let's talk about the product quality. Okay. So the bottom line, software system cost, the relative cost to find a repair software defect of the bugs flaw increase dramatically as we go from prevention to detection to internal failure to external failure costs. So this should be done in the beginning of the project. Macam saya kata lah, as a project manager ni have a tough job lah. You need to have a good research lah. Okay. Software quality concept. Okay, when we talk about the quality concept, it should be cost-effective investment. Okay, relative and absolute within a context lah. Okay, compared to some standard. Okay, measurement and analysis imply and intangible. So this is the research that every project manager should done. Okay, before you come up with the tender document, okay, and the requirement and so on. Achieving software quality. Software quality is the result of good project management and solid engineering practice. So it's have a software engineering method, project management technique, quality control, quality assurance. Okay, so the choosing of the method for your software production, project management technique, the tools kan, the project management tool that you have. Kalau tak ada project management tool, example lah, how you calculate the budget, how you estimate the budget. If you are not using the tools, you might miss some of the costing, right? Or how you manage your team. That's why we use a Gantt chart to make sure the progress is on the track. Kan nanti you ada calculations how to choose which is the best method, something like that lah. Quality control, how you do quality control? Is it internal only, or is include external review, testing, and so on? And lastly, quality assurance, auditing process. Is it only internal auditing, or you spend the money to do external audit as well? External audit ni you need to pay, but when you pay the external auditor, you might have yang macam ada standard ISO, something like that lah. You've been certified with that standard. Alright, that's all. Alright, any question? Tak ada. Okay. So hopefully you can understand the introduction of software engineering. What is software? What is software engineering? What is the good software engineering? What is the quality? Kan? Everything. What is the myth that it's just a myth, not a real one? Kan? That the 10 vital you need to be considered before you develop a system, and so on lah. That's the basic lah. The basic. Of course, you don't have to remember all things, right? You just understand the basic. Okay. So if no question, okay, I have a short quiz for you, for everyone here. Okay. Because I couldn't extract the names from the SIMs, I'm not sure that some of you might not register yet. Okay, that's why I couldn't get. Normally we get the full name list in the week 4 lah. Week 1 ni kadang-kadang ada yang belum register lagi, ada yang just survey kelas lagi kan. So that's why at first you will need to put your name and metric. Later on I just extract the information easily for you to just choose your name and your group, and then you answer a 2 question. All right. So I give you the link. Let me get the link first. Okay. I give you 5 minutes. It's an easy questions. Okay, simple questions, just to make sure you understand the basic thing of the software engineering. Okay, so I give you 5 to 10 minutes. Like we still have 20 minutes actually. Okay. So let me share in the chat group. In the Webex chat. Okay. So check in the chat box ni. Okay, Webex chat box. You will get the link for the Google form. Okay, please answer the 2 questions. So let's wait 5 to 10 minutes lah. Quiz for chapter 1. Let me know if anyone couldn't access the link. Boleh kan semua?
Boleh.
Alright, good. Okay, I'm not sure while you are doing your quiz, I hope that everyone already have a group, because you already have a first task on your lab session, right? But I'm not sure that everyone already registered the group, because currently we have 6 registered group. 6 times 4 baru 24 kan? I believe that there is one more group, C7, who haven't registered yet. Okay, please, yang tak ada group tu, you pilihlah group C7. Maksudnya you belum lagi register kan? Okay, so because if you can see the Google form, I already asked you what group you are. Okay, because nanti bila saya nak buat evaluation kan, assessment, I will do in a group. Okay, so senang untuk saya filtering based on group. So one last group, C7, please register your WhatsApp group as soon as possible. because currently we only have 6, C1, C2, C3, C4, C5, and 6. Okay, so you may need to submit your first task before your lab session. Lab session hari apa? Esok kan? Rabu kan? Okay, and then you will have your topic presentations. Okay, there is one last topic presentation lah, software entrepreneurship. Okay, we already have 5 response. So I should get 27. Tadi 26, tiba-tiba bila buat quiz je naik 28. So, oh yeah, betul-betul. 28 minus me because I open 2 devices. So I should get 26 response. Tadi ada yang tiba-tiba masuk tu mungkin you are sharing device kan just now. So 6 response. Later on we will check the answer together. Don't worry. Jangan tiru, just do by your own. Okay, salah tak apa. Okay, if you check in the assessment, there is no marks for quiz, right? Quiz ni ialah untuk saya decide lah. Contoh lah kan, you are in the borderline. Nak dapat A ke nak dapat B kan? Nak dapat dia antara A minus ataupun B plus kan? You dalam border, dalam 1-2 point lah nak dapatkan A minus atau you akan stay dalam B plus. So the topic presentations, the quiz which is not included in your assessment is the one that I will be used to make me a decision lah, to give you added marks or to reduce it. Macam tu lah. Tapi normally for topic presentations, I will choose one the best, okay, which consists of maximum 3 bonus mark macam tu lah. Quiz ni pun antaranya jugalah bonus mark. That's will be useful when I want to decide bagi you fail ke bagi you pass kan. Contoh you berada dalam PA. You tahu your pass mark is 50, right? So you might get 48, okay? I check you do all the quiz, okay, you join the topic presentation, example lah, you already in the group of topic presentations. So I think you have you deserve to pass in the test, even though you might not get a good marks for your test, right? So that's the reason lah. Dia jangan tanya pula mana markah quiz, mana markah topic presentation. It's not there in your assessment, but that's the bonus mark lah. We'll need later on for your add-on. Okay, 17. Lagi berapa orang? Okay, we have 26 actually. But I'm not sure that dah ramai dah keluar dah ni. Dah siap dia terus tinggalkan kelas. Okay, I'm sure that you still in the class. Maybe you share the device, tak sure. Okay, but make sure before class end, sign in attendance first. Okay, after this we will need to check. Jangan keluar dulu. Nampaknya dah siap quiz terus lari. We still have a time. Okay, my time is 10 to 12. Macam tadi juga kan. So I still waiting for everyone to be there for 5 minutes. Okay. So of course you need to run for the physical class, right? Okay, I believe that that's the reason you want to finish early. But I try to finish 10 minutes early actually. Okay, but it's depend on you lah. Okay, 21, 22. Ada lagi? Should I wait for 4 more? Ada lagi yang belum siap or I should stop to get the response? 23. Okay, ada lagi 3 orang. 24. Alright, 2 more.
We share device, Doktor. Taufik and Wan.
Okay, tu ada tulis Taufik dan Wan. Okay, that's good. Alright. Okay. Ada lagi? 24. our class should have 26, right? So anyone else haven't done yet the quiz? Kalau semua dah siap, maksudnya dia absent. So I just stop the response and we will do answer checking lah. 25, ada pun. Can I stop the response? Anyone else? Because to consider that some of you might have internet issues, kan? So normally I will wait until 5 to 10 minutes lah. 5 minutes is actually enough. Alright, 26. Okay, let me stop the response first. Jangan jawab sampai 2 kali ya, 1 kali cukup. Okay, let me share the answer with you guys. Okay, check if you get a correct answer. Okay, only 2 simple questions. Okay, if I check in this summary, 12 full marks. 13 got one marks. Kosong, 1 orang je yang salah semua. Okay, don't worry kalau salah. Okay, this is all because now I think you need more times because you need to key in your name and also the metric. Later on, just easy lah, you need to choose. So what is software? So the answer is a computer program. The keyword is computer program. Sometimes you can include more than what is software. It's not only a computer program, it's included the documentations and the process of software production. All right? So remember, software is a program or applications, right? Question number 2, which one is the characteristic of a good software? Ada software, a good software. Characteristic of a software. So, it's a tangibility. Okay, it's not, okay, because you cannot touch the software. You only can see it and you can experience it. That's why tangible is not a software characteristics. Okay, yes, it's invisible, you cannot touch. It's complex, yes. It's longevity, yes, but not tangibility. Alright, that's all for today class. Before class end, make sure you sign in attendance in UPeacher. See you on lab sessions. Bye everyone. Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam. Bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Welcome.
Thank you, Doktor.